So today I'll be discussing Justin Bieber's documentary Seasons here on YouTube. I'll talk about Justin's marriage to Hailey, or at least from what we can see in the documentary, signs of codependency, why Justin's relationship with Selena failed, also like how I have personally dealt with anxiety and how it may be able to help you, and what the Beavers can learn from Will and Jada Pinkett Smith. For those of you who have yet to watch it, it's the behind the scenes making of Justin Bieber's new album Changes. And you even get to see clips of his wedding with Hailey Bieber. You do get interviews with people who work really close to him, like Scooter Braun, his like executive assistant, and then a couple of people that he writes songs with. It was like Pooh Bear and some other guy. I can't remember the other guy's name. The parts of the documentary, it's 9 parts, and they're not very long. They're like 10 to 15 minutes at least, but they're purposeful and they're not full of fluff and filler material. I do appreciate Justin's ability to be vulnerable and come about his drug use, as well as his trauma issues that he's had from fame. He admitted in the documentary that he had done like weed, Molly, pills. Like, I think pills are the most dangerous thing because you don't know what's in it. Like, there's people who've actually like died from Molly, so don't do drugs, kids. What really another thing that struck me like the most about the documentary is that they seem to hang out a lot, like a couple of teenagers. Like, do you remember when you were a teenager or like a young person in general, and like you may have had like a best friend that you just always hung out with, like you were always around each other, and you maybe even you were always around each other. I'm very certain that Justin and Hailey have a codependent marriage, with Justin being the needier one. Hailey, on the other hand, even though she's a few years younger, she's like 3 years younger, I think, she seems to like have her stuff together. She reveals in the documentary that at one point she did call her parents and ask them, if she was making a crazy mistake by, marrying him so long, and they actually fully supported her. I think this shows that Hailey is a really stable girl, and obviously, her parents trust her. She is Justin Bieber's rock, and again, like, I don't think anyone would be given the blessing of their parents being married so young if they weren't like a good, stable person. I want to give you guys an idea of what an interdependent relationship looks like between two people. So that entails each person having their own beliefs, self-worth, and most especially, and the hardest to do, healthy boundaries. With Justin and Hailey, I don't think it's similar to have like similar beliefs, kind of like they do. I do feel like they're both getting like some kind of sense of worth of being married to each other. I think they both feel good about being married to each other. But with Justin needing Hailey around so much, I just feel like there is a lack of boundaries. I don't think she's a doormat at all, but like I would feel better if she stood her ground and was like, hey, I kind of want to hang out by myself today. Why don't you just go to the studio and do your thing, Speaking of relationships and stuff, do you remember when Justin had an on-off relationship / friendship with Selena Gomez for like years? I truly do think that he really did love Selena. In the documentary, you can see how much the people he works with care about him, and how they just think he's a goofy, like young, sensitive guy. And I think Selena really loved him too. Um, and you know, you do see that Hailey has been Bieber's rock, and that was a lot of energy that Selena was never going to be capable of giving him. Like, Selena strikes me as a caring person, but I don't think she's a caretaker like Hailey. Like, I think Selena knew her boundaries. I think she knew that she couldn't be around for him all of the time. Like, there was a lyric in one of her more recent songs, and she was like, "Oh, I put you first, and you liked that." And you know, they were they were young, and I'm sure they fought, and I'm sure when they fought, it was bad. Um, but yeah, I think the main reason that relationship failed was just because she couldn't, like, Justin, I think he's a black hole right now. Like, I think he needs a lot right now. I think Justin is so dependent because he does have a lot of anxiety. And I mean, he is a young guy in his mid 20s. And I think being in your 20s is one of the most anxiety riddled part of your life because there's just so much potential and so many things that could happen, but it's not like definite. Like, you know, everything just kind of, you know, comes together or comes apart. Like, it can really change from moment to moment. And what I want you guys to understand about anxiety is that you are in control of a lot of things. Like, there's something that I like to do that's called scripting. You write down things as if they're already happening. So I like to write down, I am free of anxiety and repression. Try it. The first time I wrote that down, it felt like I cast a spell or something. Like, I felt really powerful. And, you know, it really pierced the veil for anxiety for me. Like, I haven't been feeling nearly anxious anymore, if at all. And now we're getting to the part about what the Beavers can learn from the Smiths. I think Will and Jada are both obviously, you know, really intelligent people. They're both reflective people. And Jada Pinkett Smith, she did say on an episode of the Red Table Talk was that, you know, romantic love goes away, and it's better to have a great friendship with your spouse. And I think a lot of people will agree that romantic love does go away. Science says that those fall in love chemicals only happen the first 2 years of being with someone. And after the 2 years, the long-term chemicals kick in, which I believe is like oxytocin. I also want to add that, you know, in their relationship, Will and Jada are two separate, very different people. Before they met, you know, Jada, she was obviously known for a few roles, and Will Smith, he was obviously known as the Fresh Prince. He was actually even married when he had his first conversation with Jada. When Will was on the Red Table Talk the first time and they talked about their relationship, they were open about struggling in their marriage, taking a break for a year from each other, but the saving grace of their relationship is that they've always been able to stimulate each other mentally and have hours-long conversations just between the two of them, which was confirmed by Jada's mom on that same episode of Red Table Talk. And just to touch back to Justin and Hailey, you know, their marriage, it just seems like two teenagers, you know, being around each other all the time. And in seasons, there are moments that Hailey is around Justin in the studio, possibly really late at night, and she just looks tired or annoyed, and all I can think of is like, just give her some space, Justin. Like, just be or you know, she really should tell him that as well. Anyways, I've been really enjoying their series. I really hope that Justin, you know, and Hailey can learn from the Smiths, and I'm sure we're just going to really see them blossom and flourish over the next few years and hopefully many more years down the road. And we will talk soon, you guys. Take care. Bye.